Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have the Rank 2 IVB versus the Rank 3 12th Virginia on the roulette lane. This is the semi-final matchup before the championship. It's going to be hype. Thank you to our Patreons for the support. If you'd like the support, go beneath the video in the description, hit the link, and you can get behind the scenes videos and videos before everyone else. Here's the current look at our bracket. The winner of this matchup will play the winner of the Jackson's Division Sussy Brigade matchup in the finals. Our teams for tonight: on the CSA side, round 1, USA round 2, you have IVB, Sussy Light, Laurel's Brigade, and the Iron Brigade, whereas on the Union side for round 1, CSA round 2, you have 12th Virginia, Graves Battery, Corn Brigade, Missouri State Guard, 5th Virginia, and Colquitt's Brigade. And we had 2 servers for the first time in BLN history, and I'd like to quickly shout out those regiments who participated in the second server and not in the main server: 6th Louisiana, Jackson's Division, 9th Corps, Mississippi Brigade, and 15th Alabama. All the links to these regiments will be in the description. I hope you enjoy. And here we are live on the battlefield here for our first round of the semifinals. IVB's attacking 12th VA. Very aggressive here to start off tonight. Announcing with me, we have Pratly.
Hello.
And then on top of that, Bus will be showing up in a little bit.
This is ballsy as fuck from the Union to be out on the wall immediately.
Look how slow they're kind of coming back too, and the IVB is not really pressing on it. So we had 2 servers tonight. I would once again like to say thank you to everyone in that second server. It's a little smaller. We had a couple new regiments join. If you want your regiment to be in this event, please do join. We'd love to have you. Our server pop is about 250 right now. The other server is about 100-ish. So exciting to see. It opened up a lot of new possibilities for how we structure this event into next season. Pratly and I discussing many things like conferences, but it'll be great. So,
and right off the bat, Union is doing exactly what Union always does. Aside from that initial push out to the wall, they got half the force on the fence line, half the force on the wall, and they're just going to try and defend that corner for all they're worth. But they've always got to be careful that CSA doesn't get up the hill and take their arty position, because that's a really good way to lose out of line tickets.
Exactly. So, as we can see, in terms of our Union defense, you have Corn Brigade, 8th Ohio, joining in with the 30th. You have MSG to their right, holding that corner position. That's such a pivotal position. And then up on top of the hill, you see 12th VA. You have the 8th Ohio guys are just kind of sitting back on top of the hill. Looks like they're holding in reserves. And you have Graves Battery back on the guns. A 5-man in balance. Looking at this, though, Union has 8 guys on artillery, right? And they're down 5 guys already. So,
artillery is a hotly contested topic on this map in particular, I tend to find, because the canister shots can definitely do damage, but so often we see them get rushed at the top of that hill, and it just takes manpower away from the wall where they really should be defending.
Exactly. So the CSA is taking an awfully long time to get ready. I mean, you saw they took a long time getting here. IVB singing their song. They're trying to defend their championship, and here they go. Looks like they're doing a 2-pronged attack here.
I would imagine, though, that both these units will end up crunching down on the corner rather than actually splitting up too far. And a lot of shots coming out at this group who was running up the wall on the left side of the barn, and none of them have dropped so far.
Yeah, exactly. A huge CSA force. 12th VA is starting to come down the top of the hill here. Artillery shooting. I don't know if I hit anybody.
I saw a lot of canister hit the dirt. I didn't see it hit any infantry. I think CSA is winning that charge immediately.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the Union's trying to charge down this side here. Very interesting. But 12th VA is coming in so very late here. And I mean, CSA just has control of this area. Artillery shooting.
And the problem they have there, 12th VA used their shots early in that charge, so by the time they're getting here, they don't have shots. At which point they're charging into just a melee, where they're trying to melee across a wall, and that's going to be advantage CSA for sure.
Exactly. Tickets about even here. 50-50. You can see IVB now charging out, going in to wipe CSA. If you're new to this channel, we're in the playoffs for this event, and it's whoever can win the map quicker. And that's based off what that black timer is when the game hits 0. So, if the attackers cap the point here, they don't win the game right away. And so, the time in the counterattack phase does not go to the total final time.
And I'm watching this artillery right now. They're firing at the wall, and two things strike me here. Number one, they haven't nailed their fuse timing. I saw some land in the orchard and some bounce off the wall and hit halfway up the hill. That's thing number one. Thing number two that strikes me is, do they really want to hit the wall? Because they're destroying their own cover if they take the point back. Like that shot there exploded right on the wall. I'm surprised it didn't destroy more of it. I don't see any of the wall being destroyed there. But if they destroy the wall, that's going to be a problem.
So Union's gathering up. They are on the point. They're just trying not to engage because, as we see, they have less tickets. Looks like they're just trying to sit back, hold control of the point, let the artillery deal the damage. But as Pratly's saying, like, how do you overshoot by that much? We've had artillery for 3 years.
All right, we're not doing the ranting.
I am.
IVB is going to take the point here. CSA gets the point immediately.
Dude.
It does give Union a chance to potentially get some tickets back, but they want to keep that clock ticking.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Bus, introduce yourself.
It's me, Bus. I'm with the first LOR. Bus, poop, poop, poop. Everyone sucks. Boom, boom, boom.
Huzzah to that. So, Bus, you missed it. CSA is pushed and capped the point. Both sides about to hit engage. So, that's something I didn't think of, Pratly. And this whole time is that, right, capping the point, it stops that clock, but you also risk letting the defenders regain all those tickets. So, it's a great
that's a
trade-off.
fine strat on this map. You can win instantly. Who's fighting who here?
So it's IVB
IVB
versus 12th VA, IVB CSA in this first round. 12th VA is Union. And you can see IVB is starting to shift to the top of this hill. So even if the point is recapped, Union's not going to regain a lot of tickets, and it looks like the CSA.
Oh, look at that big chunk of wall gone on that artillery shot. And again, this raises the question, do CSA really want to be shooting the wall itself because they're removing their own cover for next time there's a charge on the wall?
The whole CSA team's moving up on top of this hill. Union's just sitting here in the open, and the CSA, they're charging the guns.
And this is what we see often, is the CSA take the point, they take the wall, they force Union to come onto the point, and then they take the top of the hill where they can just rain shots down on them, and also pick up all those out of lines from killing.
What side is Sussy on?
CSA, they're on the IVB side.
Okay,
Looks like
right.
Union's
That's
charging
why we're
up the
winning.
hill.
That's why they're winning.
Not the IVB strat. Here comes Corn Brigade and 5th VA. They're going up the hill. They're heavily outnumbered.
They're going to get wiped. Yeah, they're going to get wiped in that. Both sides engaged, and this plays right into CSA hands because both sides engaged so early. Yes, USA will get a little bit of tickets back, but they're still going to be engaged.
And most of the Unions pulled off the wall. CSA reinforcements coming straight down the middle.
And look at this, 12th VA is forming line in the road to aim at the barn. Everyone's coming into the point behind them.
This is the most intense eating a hamburger moment ever that I've ever had. I'm eating a hamburger. This is intense. Holy crap.
You know, I might switch teams here just because of this artillery overrun crap showing up. Let me...
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah. There we go. You know, that message will pop up. So, CSA is going to be able to squash the 12th VA. IVB's coming down at the top of the hill. Union recap point. They're not going to regain a lot.
CSA coming straight back onto it, and they still outnumber the guys who are on point.
Wow. IVB is.
Because look at this, Union's going for top of the hill. They're not going to go defend point. They're going for the top of the hill, and this is exactly what CSA wants on this map. Is just to keep the Union going back and forth, and in the open taking casualties. They can't let them stabilize on the corner.
Yeah, because CSA can just run up the snake fence on the left side of your screen. They can just run right back up it and just do exactly what they did. As of now, Melee's close. Union's reinforcing. Where is the CSA?
I hate the way you say melee.
Yeah, it's incorrect.
What do I say? Melee?
You say melee. You say melee.
Melee.
It's because it's insecure ever since the en masse thing.
En masse.
Yeah, in mass.
We're in mass.
In Catholic mass. Hallowed be thy name.
So
CSA is going to get wiped on the point, but again, it's just forcing the USA to continue being.
Here comes Zapstar, and Laura's. I'm sorry, I'm still butchering that brigade's name. Laurel's Brigade. Sussy's here, and look at that. Like CSA is getting dominated, at least on the point, kind of. Maybe I'm over exaggerating. I probably am. Look at the tickets.
A, they're not really, but B,
look at the tickets.
But B, look at the tickets. It doesn't matter if they're losing the engagement because CSA is going to be taking losses in 37 minutes.
I'm sorry, I over exaggerated the crap out of that. I am a journalist. Anyways.
Yeah, sneaky butt.
Yeah.
This is intense, guys. This is real war of rights. Intense.
Artillery killing its own and
Did it
enemy.
fit into one server?
No, so we have two servers tonight. It's
Damn.
what do we got? 250 on this server and about 100 on the other one.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Fuck
we
those guys.
didn't want to exclude 50 people. And again, I appreciate everyone going into that second server, which is 9th Corps, 15 Alabama, their new 18th Mississippi / Mississippi Brigade, 6 LA, and JD. We'll be seeing JD next week against
Union cannot keep just funneling into the point here. Look how fast their tickets are down. Look, they're taking losses already. They can't keep just funneling into the melee in the hopes of holding point. Maybe they're just thinking, let's keep this going for as long as possible so that when we play, we can win it even faster. But
yeah,
I mean, right
that's
now
the
they're
only
just
reason.
losing tickets so quickly.
Lowry's Brigade, shift left.
Flowers Brigade, I guess.
But I would argue, on the flip side, the CSA team currently could just avoid doing what the USA did. Just don't put any men up on the stake fence when they're defending it. Put everyone on the wall so that they can't cap the point right away. It puts a lot of chance. It puts a lot down to chance trying to play for time as the defenders on that one.
So Lara's Brigade shifting up the hill. Who is this Union group? 12th VA, they're shifting their guys back to the top of the hill. Only 6 or 7 of them. Graves Battery, Sharpshooters. How do you say it, Bus? What is it?
Graves Battery Shock Troops.
Yes, exactly. So they looks like they got off artillery.
They're gonna get charged though.
Elite
They're gonna get charged.
skirmishers.
Confederates.
And we have no, they do have some guys on Arty. Panzer is on Arty, and some 12th VA guys on Arty. A CD
Doing
guy
some
on
skulls for the Skull Throne. He will surely comment under this. Shout out Panzer.
Laura's Brigade, IVB charging in. Well, I mean, these are just free out alliance. I don't know what 12th VA is doing there. Are they grouping up? How many guys? Oh, there's a lot of infantry.
I mean, for me, I think the USA should now hold back and try and hope that the CSA caps point and then try and recap it to last stand, because I don't think they're going to win fighting over point.
I don't know. I would just not play with the point at all. I'd play for time. I'd keep it uncapped because at this point you're not going to win. I mean, it's a tough one at this point.
Yeah, very interesting pick by the IVB.
And that's going to take them a whole ton of tickets down because those are all skirmishing and out of line, and there's some infantry up here
these
as well.
people. Who are they? 30th Corn Brigade. What are we doing?
Yeah, they're gonna get every single one of these guys in skirmishing.
I don't think CSA is going to cap. IVB, they are very knowledgeable in the game. I don't think they're going to cap. They're just
Those
going
Corn Brigade guys escaped. You should apologize for your statement. Otherwise, you're going to get a hate comment.
I won't. Unlike you, I'm not afraid to say controversial.
Bus is like the least controversial person
see,
on the channel.
Eagle, I disagree with you. I think if this was a normal game and it was before this update to the overtime system, I think CSA wouldn't cap. But I think given that it's a playoff game where time matters and also that you can no longer overtime it indefinitely, I think they'll just cap here. They're way up on tickets.
I guess that's true. I mean, it's a big thing for the IVB. IVB has to question themselves. Do they think they can hold for
I absolutely think
minutes?
they can because here's the thing: USA have so few tickets on this map. They're going to be dropping like a morale state every charge. Basically, they're going to be final push any second when they start attacking.
So here comes 12th VA. They're going to go.
And they have IVB support on top of the hill as well. The CSA IVB's all on top of the hill. They're going to crunch down onto the Union as they hit the point, and they're going to encircle them.
Confederates could just give up the point right now and let Union recap and then slam right back in.
Here we go. Look at this. IVB coming down the hill behind that whole Union charge. That Union charge is going to get encircled and wiped, I think.
Eagle, turn your shit off. That looks cool.
I'm trying, Buzz. It takes a moment. I wish you could change it quicker, but yeah, IVB just slamming
That's fucking badass looking. That's going to be on the highlight reel.
Yeah, Union just getting encircled. Confederates have the stone wall.
Oh yeah, this is the cinematic moment.
And some of Union is still coming from spawn. The GB guys were sitting back in the rocks by Union spawn, and they're only just coming in. It's going to be too late. CSA have dominated that charge.
GB, more like GG, am I right?
So
in
Union
this
hit
instance,
breaking.
I would agree, yeah.
Union hit breaking.
I don't think there's a way back from this for USA. I don't think they'll recap the point at this stage. CSA lost so few men there, and they're going to do exactly what they just did. IVB going straight back up the hill to kill the artillery again and try and encircle them when they charge the point.
One artillery guy. He's
This is
just
tough.
standing
It's not. I don't blame Union. They're doing what they can, but the IVB's just moving too fast.
Yeah, and in fairness, 12 minutes on this map, not terrible given that they're trying to cap point immediately.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily on them. IVB's doing really well. IVB's really a standout group right now. I mean, it's their map, but they've been moving around this map like crazy, going fast and also staying in formation.
And this is exactly how CSA teams win this map is just being fast and aggressive and just going back and forth and keeping Union stretched and not letting them ever stabilize a position.
Holy shit.
Those artillery guys should really go infantry.
Yeah, they gotta respawn infantry.
One thing I love about GB is they know when to switch to infantry, and they'll switch right back to artillery when they need it to. There's, like I said, you got some smart artillery guys. GB does.
Yeah, and most of GB guys are this skirmishing group at this single artillery gun, all alone at the bottom of the hill. But that's a really good way to lose tickets right now because they're out in the field with guys shooting them from both sides.
I mean, Union tickets as of now don't really matter.
Yeah,
Right, they're gonna go in the final
because
push.
it's going to put them into final push, and they're going to have even less time.
Yeah, I forgot that gold timer can go down. You haven't really seen that before. Here comes IVB. It looks like they're just going to try to charge out from the top of the hill.
No, I think they're just going to stop and shoot. They should pull back to the fence line. So they have better positions. That was a bad volley.
Talk about bad volleys.
So
yeah,
do they have buck and ball?
I see one body.
Yeah.
I see two.
They have buck and ball, and so ever since the update, people aren't aiming as high as they should be because the drop off seems to be a lot lower now.
Yeah, they did get some kills as they got closer, but
that was a fucking wipe from 12th VA.
yeah,
that was crazy.
That was
Some
a
IVB
massive
guys
wipe.
just kind of pouring in here. Where's the rest of the CSA?
They're all on
CSA's
the
kind of
corner,
disjointed. Here comes Red in the 59th. 59NY.
Yeah, one group
And he
going up
dies right away, as per usual.
Yeah, that's
He's in
the
the
red
front.
way. But these guys do have buck and ball, and they're getting to very close range
Oh,
now.
Pumpkin died too. Rip Pumpkin.
And they're doing what they need to, which is blunting the USA charge. Like even if they don't fully wipe them here, they still have a strong presence on.
Well, they're
the
just
corner.
they're trying to put themselves to breaking.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so they can.
They're gonna do that.
Leave the point. Yeah.
Start.
I mean,
But they
really,
can
you
hold
could do.
for 3.5 minutes without
I think.
going off that.
Well, Eagle, you banned F9 shuffle, right? You banned the sussy shuffle. You can't respawn to die out of line, can you? I used to do that all the time. That was like,
And it also used to be the strat for Nicodemus Hill. The CSA used to respawn with their pistols.
yeah.
So Lars Brigade pulling back to this position. Are they giving the point away to the Union? I kind of can't tell right now.
I don't think so. They've got another group. IVB is coming straight back in right now. And they killed most of that Union charge. There's not that many Union left on the fence line. And it's taking time away from them every time.
See, this is I wasn't here for the beginning part, but this is the effect of losing the initial charge on roulette.
You cannot lose the wall on roulette.
Yeah,
If you lose the corner at any point, you're done.
Yeah, if you lose that initial charge, sorry, buddy. It's only inevitable before you're done.
And the other thing is, you can't afford to lose either initial charge. You can't lose the top of the hill charge either. If the whole CSA goes top of the hill, you have to win that one as well, or else
Holy
they're charging
crap.
downhill on you.
And again, I don't blame the USA. They're not doing bad. It's just this is the nature of the map. A real man's game is contention. I'm sorry, skirmish is stinky poo-poo. You know, it's for babies. You know, so not at a skill level here right now. I think both VA their movements have been really good. It's just the nature of the map, though.
And also, I do think there's an element there as well. I think it's really important on this map as Union not to shoot too early when they come out from behind the barn, because you're wasting your shots for the actual charge. You have to have them when they get to close range.
CSA quickly appeared up here. They're just kind of slowly pushing up. These LB guys slowly getting killed here.
And they don't even need to win that push at the top of the hill. They just need to keep blunting the Union and blowing them down.
IVB is charging down 12th VA. Union hitting final push.
Minute and 30.
That clock didn't change much.
The spawns are both the spawns are so close to point that, I mean, you can hold it as CSA.
Union could win. You know, Union, minute and a half, if they go bayonets and go, and they get enough kills, they could get them to last stand in a minute and 20.
Yeah.
It's theoretically possible. And,
They're
and if
pushing
they
down the
get
top.
You know, obviously the overtime's different now, but if they get an overtime from full cap all the way to them being full cap, that's another, what, minute?
A lot of Union
time
guys.
capping?
I don't. They slowed. A lot of their guys slowed down, so I don't think it's gonna have much of an effect. Yeah, they help.
Half of them are. A
It's
minute
half
left
a morale
here.
state, minute. They win, they wipe the CSA, and they'll get them to last stand. The question is, though, can they then hold the point so completely that they never lose the overtime?
Yeah, Union
I don't know
guys.
that they can.
Yeah, Union
We
guys
have to have
coming in.
more.
It's always in balance.
Yeah, here they come.
Yeah, CSA, they basically can't let CSA start capping at any point. That was a good Artie shot.
Fuck them. Get in there, let's fucking kill these goddamn fucking bitches.
So, points going in
starting to
Union
cap.
favor.
They're
Here
gonna
comes
get
CSA,
overtime
though.
here.
They're coming out of the orchard.
They got to get more guys in that point.
They have to
15
keep more
seconds.
guys on the point. They want to be capping slowly, though. They don't want to have so many more that they're capping it really quickly because they need to have enough time to get
Artillery
to the last
just
Some of those
bursted
Union
open
guys
the
are not on
treatment for
point.
'em. No, I think they are. Well, there's the ones that are past near the house.
Yeah,
aren't.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's still capping. Overtime triggers. Overtime started. I think they might win this, you know. I think CSA has enough guys coming in that I think they might win that charge. Union guys need to be going nothing and go. They cannot be stopping for any
Didn't they fix the overtime thing in the recent patch or
You
whatever?
just have to have more bodies in them. Yeah,
Oh,
they might.
see,
Yeah, they're
let's
gonna
see.
win. They might win.
CSA's got to get all of their men on point at this stage and get
They're-
it for enough
They're
time.
done.
Wait, are they going to hit last stand?
I think Union's
They're going to be
gonna
last
win
stand.
this.
They're going to be last stand before it happens. They're losing too many guys in
Union's
skirmishing.
gonna win it. Yep.
Wow.
The
Yeah,
Confederates trying to pull
retreating.
off the point.
it's going to be very, very close. They only
Confederates
need a
got to
couple
run
of
away.
lines.
There they
Oh,
go.
that's game.
That's game. 12th VA
That's
wins.
game.
Now they
You
have to go
played-
back in. They can't
You
leave. They can't
gambled.
leave
You
it.
gambled and you lost right there, IVB. That's a shame.
Yeah, they're all running away. It's too late. They're not going to make it back in.
Wow, and what a win by 12th VA.
Wow. See, as I said, they were playing great. They played phenomenally.
So,
They did
Wow.
what they needed to do.
IVB's going to have to win. Pratly, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised by that. I didn't think they had the time to do it. I think there was a little mistake from the CSA guys fighting that out on point for so long. Once it became apparent that the Union were going to recap, they should have pulled out immediately instead of funneling in. But other than that, I don't think either side really did anything wrong all game. The CSA played very well throughout the game. They moved quickly and they got the positions they needed to. And the Union did the moves they had to try and get back in it. So yeah, I think both teams played very well.
Boss, your thoughts?
Well, what I was going to say is CSA didn't need to cap the point. So they underutilized the corn side of the map, the CSA right side. There were plenty of opportunities there for them to shoot at groups and get them to breaking before capping it. They were too aggressive there. I didn't speak up or say anything because I just, I don't want to get any comments about anything, but they really didn't have to cap. I don't think it's their fault for losing. I think 12th VA just outplayed them there. They did fantastic. They did what they needed to do. And I'm sure we'll get some IVB guys saying that certain people didn't listen fast enough. But that's the risk that you take when you cap that close to breaking. And then that'll happen. I mean, a fantastic job from 12th VA. IVB, you did what you could.
And just good
like
discipline
that.
from the CSA guys to keep going at it and not get disheartened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so with that being said, we'll see you in the second round. And here we are live on the second round. So the IVB's total attacking time was 11 minutes and 29 seconds. So what that means is the IVB needs to win this game in 11 minutes and 29 seconds, meaning they need to force the CSA to cap and then knock them down the final push. But as we can see, 12th VA is going to take this very slow.
They're gonna take
and
their
that's
time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Eagle, I'm so happy. I have the T-posing bug that you had a few weeks ago. Everyone is T-posing, and in fact, not everyone's T-posing. The artillery officer has one hand behind his back, going through his body, holding his
That's
binoculars.
amazing. So, obviously, 12th VA, they're going to have to attack. It's out of courtesy and respect. However, right, the rate at which they do attack is up to them, right? As long as they do attack. And the Union's going to have to play super aggressive. And so, that's why...
T-posing
out
is
of bounds.
so stupid.
So that's what I say, right? The past couple of weeks with this event, the first round is always a phenomenal round, but the second round, it's very interesting. Usually not as hypeful, and Union is just getting out here.
All right.
Yeah, we gotta charge immediately.
You could have waited a little bit, Collector.
This looks so fucking stupid on my screen. Because it's not
Collector
even
could have
at
waited
night.
like 10 seconds more and he would have had a lot more Confederate kills there.
Well, I mean,
I tell you, there is no time for that.
Union should have at least let the CSA try to cap.
Well, CSA might push through them here.
Oh, yeah, and they might go cap. But I don't think they will, right? They just have to attack. They don't have to cap, but... I mean, let's see. Union's starting to flank around here as well. LB doing that. I mean, look at the Union tickets already.
Eagle, this is the dumbest thing I've ever watched right now. Like because like when you had the T-posing bug, at least it was at night. You couldn't see it all the time. Everyone is so visibly T-posing. I'm recording it as well. Don't worry, I'll send them to you so you can put some up on shorts.
Beautiful. Yeah, Confederates winning that. Wow.
They're going to point. Some of them are going to point.
Wowie zowie is like, that's what I like to call it. Wowie zowie. That's what they say.
Yes, slide away, Turtle. Slide away. Oh, also, no one has any faces as well, in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
They're all just black holes with beards.
See, this is like one of the weird part about these tiebreaker rules is you get scenarios like these where the defenders are forced to be like super aggressive, and I'm pretty sure we switched to this normal rule set because if you flipped it the other way around where the defenders had to, if the defenders won both rounds, it was whoever defended the longest wins. I think there was a scenario where that was wonky as well, so wow. But I mean, hey, here's the thing, right? If IVB would have won, they wouldn't be in this situation in the first round. So, I mean, everyone knows the tiebreaker rules in the end. So.
Yeah, it's all IVB's fault.
Yep.
Blame Sevy, that's what I say.
Even though Sevy wasn't even here.
Blame the man who wasn't there. I agree.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Eagle. One man in this sea of faceless men does have a face.
Huzzah.
On the line, on the line.
Here goes 12th VA. They're going to take shots, but... No, I mean... Yeah, I mean, what is it? Oh, there goes artillery. I mean, how many did Union put on artillery? That's what I say, right? Is I wish the devs would... Like, we have all these maps. I wish they would make new points of contention on the map for skirmish and like different spawns so we can have different scenarios more than we already have. I think it'd be fascinating.
Yeah, Roulette Lane has some cool options. Like a point in the orchard would be super cool. It would be difficult to fight over. The barn would be cool. Like there's a lot of fun spots to fight over. I mean, what we really want though is for them to just open up the whole map, you know?
Yeah, of course. But IVB's up front. Here comes Corn Brigade 12th VA. So, what, 11 minutes and 29 seconds? What is that?
It's 33-31 they have to win by as defenders, which they're not going to do. They have 6 minutes to get them to win the match as defenders. Unless CSA caps, it's already done. And in fact, most likely because they're having to play aggressive to try and bring the CSA down, most likely they will lose 2-0 in the end tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going back to Alabama.
Thank you, Nike.
Jeez. So, wow. So I guess for some more context, the next week we'll have Jackson's division, rank number 1 versus rank 4 Sussy.
Woohoo! Yeah! Woo!
So Bus has no bias here, but
and Bus now does agree that it's a Sussy token again. We'll see how he feels when it happens.
In the lost footage of round 1, he said this is Fifth Florida's token.
Never said anything like that.
But it was never said because the footage was quote-unquote lost. It was totally not hacked and deleted. But it'll be the winner of JD and Sussy playing what I presume is 12th VA. Wow. IVB, the
I
reigning
wonder-
champions.
Was the term bootlicker utilized in the? Maybe it came from back then because I just heard that one dead guy say something about those bootlickers will have hell to pay. How old is that term?
Well, I mean, the Union couldn't be using it because the CSA didn't have shoes.
Correct.
Good shot.
Historical fact, not a single CSA man ever had a shoe.
So true. Here comes CSA.
Hey, everyone fire at will. North.
Oh, good, decent artillery shot, but I mean, this is just so spread out. Wow.
Well, it's a lot easier to get decent artillery shots right now because the CSA is standing in positions and letting him take them. Though there is a charge on point right now. Maybe they'll cap by mistake.
That'd be really funny if they did. It doesn't look like they're even gonna win though, because there is an imbalance in favor of the Union right now.
Shoot this dude.
I'm sorry I'm not talking as much on this map. I'm just standing here, sitting here in awe of what I'm seeing on my screen.
As you should.
That's right. Eagle says, "Sit down and shut the fuck up."
Okay.
So even though there is an imbalance of about 15-ish, there's no world in which VA would lose this, even if it was a closer match. So that is why this is being played out.
Yeah, I mean, CSA at this point is going to play to win it. I would imagine that would be the honorable thing to do. There's 3 minutes left. They're probably not going to lose either way, but at least give the Union a little bit of a chance to fight and win.
Here comes IVB. They're countercharging. It's about a half morale stage different right now. I mean, at this point, might as well just have some fun with it. So. Wow, this is really going to be a quick night. It's
Hey man, I'll take it. I'm about to play Arma in a bit.
I'm midway through. I'm continuing my spree of playing older games. I'm partway through playing Assassin's Creed 2 right now.
Oh.
Great game.
I've only played
Fantastic
one.
story.
Union's dominating this charge, but not terribly surprising with the imbalance. So. Yeah, Union just pushing through.
CSA are holding the fence line. They might be able to pick up some kills here on the Union potentially.
Yeah.
Oh nope, they're running. They're running.
Run away!
Well, I mean they're not. They're sliding gracefully across the screen on mine, but.
Well, this is a mix of things.
There's a block right now, guys.
Back here.
Good Union team kills there from their artillery.
I saw 2 CSA guys die as well.
Oh yeah. I guess
It's
that's
horrible to
true.
watch. 1 minute you've got a man just standing there in a T position, and the next minute he's dead.
He's gone.
Ceased to be, in fact, with that artillery hit.
So we're almost to that point where it's official. You have a couple CSA guys in the distance. Let me guess. Oh, it's MSG. Look at that. Wow. We got a... I wonder if
And we
there's a
have
way-
what is it? It's 50 seconds until victory for the CSA. I would expect they will wait those 50 seconds. They will celebrate briefly, and then they'll go try and make this a 2-0 win.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a way we could manipulate the rules to make the second round worth. I mean, I guess you can't.
It's only weird like this when the defenders win. If the defenders win, then there's difficulties. And to be honest, I actually think in all of these games so far, there's been mistakes made from the attackers, primarily because they've been so concerned about the time. They've been really trying to play the time and be as fast as possible, and they've ended up putting themselves in exposed positions and they end up losing the game or getting in really tight spots. We saw it on the first round last week. You know, the 5th Florida and Sussy guys were in a really difficult spot because they were so concerned about the time. We saw it the week before that in the playoffs where the defenders ended up winning because people were trying to play the time so much. And it's happened again here. Like, people need to realize that yes, the time is important, tiebreaker is important, but you got to win before you can get a tiebreaker.
Yeah, I also, like, IVB picked the map tonight, and I wonder what would have happened if IVB would have picked a map like Pry House, where the defending team can't really turtle like they are right now, or the attackers team.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's that.
Well, the CSA have now officially won. You might want to put
Yeah, that's where I am.
some sort of note to the 12th VA guy that they can start attacking in earnest.
Clearly didn't work.
Should we put a server announcement that they won?
I would put server announcement on. You're gonna see the Union guys quit out very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, here they go. So I think they're going now at realizing they've won. But
Pretty beautiful line on the fence from the Union here. That's what 120 guys on that fence.
yeah, it's, I think a map pick though is very huge because the defenders won. What happened is it allowed the CSA to be very slow, and the Union couldn't really do anything about it. On a map like, I don't know, Pry House, like I said earlier, it forced the attackers to...
But even then, you know, with a ticket
hard.
advantage, I don't know if you're going to get them down that quickly. But on the flip side, I would say it's such an even map that you can't really afford to play just ultra aggressive as the attackers and hope to win really quickly, because you're just not going to. Union wiping that CSA charge.
Yeah.
Pretty handily, in fact. Although there's more of them coming in at the bottom of the hill, and they're at least keeping them engaged down there, which is going to drop the tickets. But look at CSA tickets drop, though. The Union have almost pulled back to level here.
They have indeed. Wow.
And again, you have MSG with, what, 6, 7 guys on the far right shooting up at artillery, which are shots that are not impossible, but they're certainly not easy shots either.
Yeah, they're just having some fun. I mean, at this point, right, it's done. Let's having fun. I mean, I'm saying this like that'll change anything.
I mean, like, correct me, Ego, am I wrong here? Is this the semi-final match?
Yeah, so I kept...
Yeah, I mean, 12th VA would like to keep their record up of going 2-0 both nights.
Did they go 2-0?
Yeah, they were 2-0 on the first one.
Oh,
They
yeah, they
were
were
2-0
2-0
on
against
Eastwood
MSG.
Skirmish. Yeah, on Eastwood Skirmish, where they won as defenders first round, just like this one, in a position where we really thought they were going to lose, and then they were able to just play it slow as the attackers. Showing that perhaps it's not such a downside to defend first.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that makes a lot of sense, right? Because if you win as the defenders, you get the 12th VA's advantage, like they're doing right now, taking this very slow. It's great for you, right? But if the attackers win, oh well, you're kind of expecting that to happen anyways.
It's the same thing. You're still prepping for an ultra aggressive game. But again, like, you know, this happened last season when Ninth Corps was in the playoffs. You know, we didn't really try and concern ourselves with the time too much. We just tried to concern ourselves with winning the match, and then assuming that we could, you know, try and fight for the tiebreaker after that. But, you know, what's the point in playing just for time if you end up losing the game as a result, when you're meant to be winning as the attackers? Almost even on tickets now, though.
Yeah.
And this actually is how a roulette lane more typically would tend to go, is with CSA throwing a lot of tickets at that wall in the hopes of cracking it and often getting wiped, but all it takes is for them to win it one time.
But yeah, Union, IVB pushing their way out to the house. Confederates taking losses. Confederates are shooting the people that are shooting against them, so it's a little bit of a war here.
Well, I'm leaving and re-entering the server, so I get rid of this T-posing finally.
IVB is charging out these MSG guys. And yeah, they wipe them pretty effectively. We got J-Man here from the IVB. That's the thing, you guys can tell who my friends are now on Steam.
You can turn it off. That's what I did.
Oh, that's true. But who cares anyways? CSA charging out. 12th VA leading the way. They are in the finals. Avenging it for what happened last season. They lost to KB while they were part of 2nd MS before that split. But
KB
now,
no longer in existence.
Yeah, KB does not exist anymore. But they are here under LB's banner tonight, so I'm glad they're still here playing. Yeah, CSA is just...
Wait, they might be back. Are they back?
They're in like their 7th iteration or whatever.
Ah, it's like the French Republic.
Yeah. There's been one revolution after another.
Oh, here comes Corn. Going up the hill. I think Union's winning this, but... Actually, it's kind of close. Union's winning on top of the hill by a decent amount.
I mean, that hill charge is really brutal if USA is already in the position. The hope is that you catch them moving up from the wall to the top of the hill rather than having them start up there and then having to charge an entrenched position.
Yeah, regardless of the CSA failed assault, though, Union's about to hit breaking.
Let me in, got the way.
Wow. Oh!
Oh my god, it's so weird seeing people actually loading and holding their guns.
Coming at us from northwest. Rambo right there, northeast.
How did you miss that shot? Who was that guy?
So what happened in that last charge? Because I quit the server briefly, and now I'm back, and the Union were basically level on tickets, and now they're half a morale state down again.
Yeah, so Union won pretty dominantly on top of the hill, but there was a lot of out of line, like Union hopping over, charging out at them, which I think kind of killed them on tickets. And CSA was holding a decent amount on the bottom.
GB, I think, seems to believe that this this bush is going to stop bullets, which it is not.
There's a safer spot because they're shooting from that wood building.
Wow.
Although, in fairness, they've got the whole of Sussy shooting at them, and they haven't really gone down so far, so maybe it is stopping the bullets.
His poor colleague guy, he is trapped here. You'll see in the corner.
Oh, wait, no, I'm trapped.
But I mean, yeah, there's nothing really much to... I mean, I don't know what else to talk about. Usually we'll just have Bus start talking about the police, but apparently that's not...
I'm not allowed to do that anymore.
You're not allowed to do that?
Says who?
The people in the comments get too mad when we don't talk about the movements in the game. So here we have a Union guy moving to the right and to the left.
Confirmed, Bus actually hates War of Rights
He
just
really
as
does.
much as the
That's
police.
a fact. I had a negative review on the game for a long time.
Right,
I think I might still have it. Which is ridiculous because I love this game.
Oh, War Right's such a good game. You have some guys...
Perfectly balanced and with no bugs.
Yeah, of
they
course.
ran away.
Graves Battery, Elite Skirmishers falling back here.
I don't know what they... I think it's skirmishers. I don't remember what he calls it. Sharpshooter? I don't
Sharpshooters,
know.
yeah,
Sharpshooter.
it's the old sharpshooters. But then again, every group claims they have sharpshooters. I fundamentally don't agree that sharpshooting is really a thing in this game.
Yeah,
Oh, here they come again.
They're coming again, boys. They're coming again.
Oh, that was a great arty shot. That knocked down about 15 or 20 CSA guys before they charged there. That's massively strung out the assault. Kind of don't think it's going to matter. Too much of Union is on top of the hill, and every CSA guy is coming onto the point.
Yeah, it looks like Union's starting to countercharge from the top of the hill here. Union's going to hit breaking, artillery overshooting.
Fucking die, you Yankee bastard.
I love the trash talk in this game. CSA winning near point. They're camping it right now. Here comes Sussy.
Yeah, there's enough Union left that they should be able to kick it back off.
Or like Bus likes to call him, Fifth Florida.
That's not true. It's Sussy.
Gonna keep braiding you for that.
12th VA is going to win against the bipolar IVB.
You have no evidence that I said that. You just have...
Wasn't
I
that in the
don't know,
second
man.
game? I think that one was in the second
No,
game.
No,
it
it
was
was
the
the
first game. It was because Right Zoo was struggling a
allegedly
lot.
the first. It was allegedly the first game.
Yeah, you better say allegedly, buddy, or else you're incriminating yourself. I will say we don't have Zoo here tonight. He's recovering from a broom attack. It's very shameful that he died to a broom.
Let's see, Sussy and Dragons plug, shameless plug on Red FXD YouTube channel on
Speaking
Spotify.
of Red, 59NY, look at them go. You hear him chant it.
I hate that shit.
Why, Bus?
That's dumb.
Why? It's better than
It's
what?
shouting
Is,
5Y in Y.
I'm sorry, Bus. What does First Delaware have as a chant?
I shot him red.
Haunts.
That's better than 5-9 and Y?
Yeah, shouting haunts, which Brigade stole. Yes.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? 5-9 and Y, you know it's 59th New York. When Corn Brigade says corn, you know it's corn. When you hear haunts, what do you think of?
And let me tell you, when someone hears zoo zoo zoo, all they have to say is that fuck you furries.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
God bless the
Yeah,
first-
Pratly is a furry, actually.
Thank you.
Actually,
no,
that
no.
was a gay furry. Nothing wrong with that, but
There's something wrong with
there's nothing wrong with that.
We're just canceling ourselves in the process here.
I'm not being
I don't
cancelled.
think,
It's
I'm
fine.
not being
It's fine.
canceled for that. Yeah, I'm bisexual. I can say whatever I want about gay people.
And I'm dating a bisexual girl, so it's fine.
Well, that's a little bit different.
No, it's the same thing.
We should just start this second round, because the second rounds usually aren't as hype as the first round. We'll just start a political theater here for war rights.
Bus, who's the worst regiment in game?
I'd actually have to think about it. If I was trolled and was on the the tier list podcast, I'd say 9th Corps, but realistically, that's not true anymore.
Oh, that really warms
know.
my heart, you know, after being E tier for so long.
Yeah, we're gonna do a season 2 regimental tier list.
You know, that's the only reason why some people like me. I sold my soul to put us into E tier so people would like me.
Yeah.
That's what, northwest? No, that's like north.
So Union halfway to last stand. Are they going again? Oh, it looks like FuseWall. Oh no, he's still alive. It looked like an officer died almost right away. Star going down.
Yeah,
Rest in
one
peace.
group coming in. Are they just
50A.
trying to bait the shots? Yeah, 50A, I think, just baited all of the Union shots.
I don't think they're baiting because Union's been shooting the whole time. This is just.
Yeah, but the Union volleyed en masse at the top of the hill. In masse.
In mass. On Moss.
And now it's a big melee.
Shut up! You're exaggerating it.
It's like
I know
That's
you
what
are.
he said.
I don't say melee. I don't.
Yeah, you just tried to say it properly.
Melee.
That's what you
Melee. Is it melee?
It's
Milady?
Melee. Malay. Malay.
Malay. It's like Fifth Florida.
Fifth Florida.
Fifth Florida. Another plug for Sussies and
Union
Everyone's
winning
just-
back the point, but they're gonna go last stand.
Yeah.
And you gotta think, if Sevi was here, it would have been the exact same result. It's wild.
Clip that and send it to him. He'll love you. Here comes Gray's battery, though. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not even hit right click there. There's last stand. Wow. Well, I mean, what a great first round, nonetheless. I can't wait. I'm gonna look at the retention of this video, and it's gonna like round 2. We're not gonna hear Bus's controversial comments.
Yeah, that's why I'm always relying on
one
into this.
There's no one. I mean, there's no reason to watch if you don't have the controversial comment.
No, I think what we rely on is if we make them in the second map, no one's gonna be watching anymore anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. People click on the video and click off within 10 seconds.
So true. True. I think it's like it ranges from 15 to 20. Maybe that's a little high. 15-20% for the first round, and then normally it dies around to like 5-10% the second round. You know. But that's with most things.
And personally, I just skip through until there's finally a moment when you show 9th Corps, and that takes a while.
Hate my channel. No.
You know, I'm still waiting for the day when Union just rolls the artillery guns down all the way down the hill and put them on the road.
Can't they get them on the road? Oh, I guess you could shoot
Yeah,
them
sure
down.
they can. They can destroy the fence, yeah.
I think CSA would claim that position by the time that would happen, though, so...
Yeah,
But
but,
that'd be
you know,
funny to
if
watch.
you had like 3 arty guys doing it and you just use the pistol to destroy the fence, like, put the artillery gun on the left in front of this brown house here, aiming down the road, you could shoot up some CSA coming into that charge.
Wow.
Or you could overshoot them and do nothing.
Yep, keep your lives, please, keep your lives.
I think CSA is getting ready to go again. FuseWall out in front, the victorious
Oh,
man
now
himself.
they're finally going for the top of the hill when Union have finally left the top of the hill.
Kind of epic, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's smart scouting from them to understand what the enemy's doing. Union's trying to run back up the hill, but they're not sending everyone. They're too entrenched on the wall, and they're going to lose the top of the hill, and they're going to lose a lot of their men here because CSA is going to make the fence first.
Yeah, Union took a while to react there. Oh!
That was a good shot.
Yeah, CSA just get complete control of the defense. Union trying to counter here.
And that Union gun has been waiting to take that artillery shot all game, and they finally got the chance and nailed it.
This is, we should, or rather I should make like montages of cinematic charges. I think that'd be a good idea.
Good idea, yeah.
And then stupid things like fine. I wish there was an option to remove these pop-ups like final push and the artillery stuff.
yeah.
And on top of that, I wish there was things to remove like the huzzas and the yees. Well, I mean maybe not, but I mean
I think they add character to the game.
yeah, it's just these pop-ups are very annoying for spectators, especially for cinematics.
Now, do these last, what, 30 Union men manage to hold the point for 2.5 minutes?
It's possible. It's possible.
They haven't even killed all the CSA and
You
their
know,
artillery.
that's a
MSG's finally taken their artillery.
That's a hooker's push run there. 5 minutes there from their spawn. So, we won't even have to look at their spawn. But Gray's battery here on the point for CSA.
They might do it. And MSG's on top of the hill. They finally took the CSA, the Union artillery.
And that's kind of... You know, I was going to say that's kind of crazy. CSA never took these guns the whole game, but it's like they didn't even need to.
And they never even tried to.
Yeah.
Look at how many flags are down on the top of the hill. There's 6 flags down on the top of the hill.
That's a record. And with that being said, huzzah to the 12th Virginia advancing to the finals. I mean, that's been official the whole time, but wow.
Come on, boys, come on.
And that's the round. Pratly, your thoughts?
I don't have a lot to say. I think you know, CSA did what they needed to do, which was slow the game down until they knew they had the tiebreaker win, and then went and made sure that they had a 2-0.
Yeah.
Bus?
Mama poo stinky poo. That's what I thought.
This is why we have you on, Bus.
Thank you.
For this exact moment.
Yeah, I know.
You shine.
I know.
But yeah.
Except for all the controversial comments.
No, but that's why we need him. We need the views. That's how I get it. Yeah, we're a news channel. We make clickbaity content. But yeah, with that all being said, again, congrats to 12th VA. Thank you to everyone going in the Overflow server. We'll see them, most of them, next week. Great to see that. With that being said, we're going to go to the one-on-one interview with the leaders of each side. Here we are with the leader of the Irish Volunteer Brigade tonight, Collector of the IVB. Collector, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, it's Collector. You know who I am, probably. War Rights Discord moderator. Kind of a big deal. Leader of the best Union regiment. You can say that, right? All the other regiments in this tournament are Confederate.
That is very true, and he demands your respect as a moderator. We also got Pratly with us.
Hello, yes, I'm the leader of the 9th New York, who are also a Union regiment.
Oh yeah, they exist.
Dang! So, with that being said, a very exciting first round as you guys were attacking as CSA. Unfortunately, I mean, phenomenally well played. It's just the ending kind of didn't go your way. So what was your strategy going into the first round, and how did you react to the ever-changing battlefield?
Yeah, so first off, I just want to say, damn, that was totally my fault on that the ending of that first round. But no, plan was executed pretty well, I think, at least at the beginning. We stacked Buck and Ball, which I know is kind of not something a lot of people thought we were going to do. There were a lot of doubters, especially because of the recent debuff to buck and ball. Basically, after 40 yards, it's useless. I don't know if you've been to the shooting range, but it's not just the damage fall off; it's the actual the way that it shoots out of the gun. Like the ballistics are totally different. Obviously, as the 69th New York, our main gun is the 42 Springfield, so we train on that first and then train on everything else afterwards. So that was quite alarming, but we went with the decision to go for it and adapt our battle strategy based on that, which is, try and engage in combat 40 yards or less at all times. And Roulette Lane is a pretty good map for that. So what we did is we went to take the corner first. Yeah, take that corner and roll up their flank up to the top of the hill. Try and sweep up their artillery. And at the same time as you're sweeping up their artillery, you have another unit on point that pushes up to try and prevent the respawns from getting to us. And for the most part, it was executed pretty well. The casualties turned out to be a little bit more even than I would have liked. We couldn't exactly execute the plan after we took the corner. I think IVB went up to take the cannons, and the group that we had holding at the stone wall pretty much was eradicated at that point. So kind of started to fall apart there. Not sure if I should have moved IVB at that point or what, but we did pretty well on tickets. So whatever. Second try comes around. We still have that foothold on the left, so we just reinforce that. We cap at taking losses most of the way through. Actually have a really, really great charge now that I remember it. Rebels, sorry, Yankees, I suppose. Yankees try and counterattack. IVB, we came in their rear. We just obliterated one or two good charges for them on that last counterattack. I'm still going over it in my head, not to, monologue an entire replay of the round. But yeah, coming down to that last like minute or two, IVB were up at the cannons. They send like 75% of their team to charge the cannons. The rest are going straight down the road. That's what it looked like to me. We committed probably too many of our men to wipe out the guys on the cannons. We turned around, and the guys on the road have taken point, or in the process of taking point. So 30 seconds left in the game. I'm dead. I died on the hill with the rest of the IVB. We're still in control of the point on the timer. Steam call is annoyingly quiet, which I won't talk about too much on here. Coordination with Sussy was great, though, I will say. But 30 seconds left on the timer. I think we still had a good half of breaking left. And we still had point capped, like it wasn't even going in the Confederates' favor. So I full send IVB, full send our respawn wave to point. About the time that we get there, there's like 20 seconds left in the round. Our respawn wave finally gets up there. And right before we get up there, it starts decapping. So I'm left with a choice with 20 seconds left. I either assume that my respawn wave that's with me is larger than the Union respawn wave that's coming down from main deployment and just started capping the point. And I go for the wipe and the win right then and there. Or I turn and I pull our entire team back, let them recap and risk a lower time to win. They go back up to breaking. And yeah, I just saw the dollar signs in front of me. I saw the win. I got the bloodlust, and I ordered us to charge. Seemed like we wiped a decent bit of them, but evidently was not enough. Pretty much as soon as we charged, we got wiped. I don't know what the other regiments were doing, but we went through that half of breaking faster than I've ever seen. About the time that we hit overtime was about maybe 5 seconds after overtime started. IVB was wiped, and at that point, I issued the Steam call. We're gonna fall back. All right, we had a little bit of discussion, but it was like, we're obviously not winning up there. We have a toehold, but it's not enough. So I ordered everybody to hold that spawn and fall back. I have no idea who was still up there at the end. You would have a better idea than me. But
I will say, Collector, everyone was pulling back. The issue was there was Union behind them shooting them as they ran away.
Okay. But yeah, no. So I take full responsibility for that loss. I shouldn't have got the blood loss. My blood was up, so that's brutal. It was a brutal L. I think after we hit last stand, I just stood up out of my chair, walked over to my window, and just looked out the window for a good minute there. But that was a well fought round. But Eagle will appreciate this reference. It's like watching Husker football.
That's so sad and so true.
Shoot yourself in the foot at the 99-yard line. So that's not to take away anything from 12th VA. They fought one hell of a round. That was a great fought first round. And then anyways, probably talking for way too long. I apologize, Eagle.
You're good.
But yeah, so first round, really well fought. Sussy did a great job coordinating. Red was bouncing back and forth, coming up with ideas. I loved every second of that. Second round, we were a little demoralized, but not a huge fan of the defender win. Tiebreaker in this game. But, it is what it is. Right? We agreed to the rules. They've been this rule for quite a while. And so we had to knock the attackers down to final push with 12 minutes left. And I thought, well, I can either sit back here and hope they cap point with 12 minutes, which they're probably not dumb enough to do. Like, I know Natty's not that stupid. He's just going to hold back for 12 minutes. And so I was like, let's just get super aggressive and just have fun with it. Maybe we can knock him down on tickets. Didn't quite work out that way. But, I'm satisfied with saying we won, except for that very first charge, which I think we lost, just barely. We won every single melee on that second round. So I was happy with that. We came out of it having a good time.
And
but...
Collector, I will say as well, and it's probably not great for you to hear, you also won every single melee on the second round, or on the first round, aside from the one that lost you the match.
I know. Yeah. Yep. So, no, hats off to 12th Virginia. That loss is entirely on my shoulders. So, you live and you learn. Always getting better.
Yeah, exactly. There's always next season, as they say in Husker football. But it is this. It's next season, baby. We'll get them this fall. So.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on, Eagle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, sorry. Do you want to plug anything before we call it for a night? Or
I have questions before.
Yeah. Sorry.
Call it. Yeah.
Pratly. Good. Thank you.
Collector. My biggest question was about the cap at taking losses. I thought at the time that seemed a little weird because they were very close to going breaking. You had an absolute chokehold on the point, and I thought you would have just shot it out for another couple minutes. Do you feel like you maybe got too obsessed with the time factor with the tiebreaker rules, or do you feel like that's a move you would have made again if you were in the same position?
So, you have to think about our positioning at that time. You had IVB at the very top of the hill. You had, I think, LB more so on point, and you had Sussy on that crisscross fence. And so from here, the Yankees, I believe, were all pretty much on the opposite side of the roulette lane. They were on that perpendicular split rail fence and the brown house. Is that correct? Yes.
Yeah, they had some guys over there. I wouldn't say it was the majority, but from your position, I can see why you would have thought that.
That was the majority that I saw. They were either in their spawn or over there. And from my vantage point on the top of the hill, I knew that our entire team had buck and ball. So we needed them to come to us, or else they weren't going to go down on tickets. IVB could have charged down from the top of the hill, but then you'd be giving the rebels, sorry, I keep saying rebels. You'd be giving the Union control of the top of the hill. And I thought, correctly, we repelled a charge successfully from them by using the top of the hill. That, we need to play our strengths of the Confederacy and not our weakness. Our strength is close range.
Yeah, and I got to say that the close range strategy worked really well. Mm-hmm. I will say it was apparent that the changed mechanics of buck and ball, the one time they tried to charge you guys at the top of the hill, and I think they actually made it through you guys, the shots that you took as they were coming in, the initial shots you took when they were a little further out, you got like one guy from
Oh
like
man,
15, 20 shots, and then
that's
when they got
crazy.
closer, they immediately started dropping. So it was
Yeah.
kind of wild to see that in action.
Yeah, I don't know if you've taken your guys to the shooting range
Yeah,
yet.
we tried it out
Yeah,
and found that it
it's
just
crazy.
doesn't shoot at long range anymore.
Yeah, no. So,
No, so I mean, my overall thing would be, I think you guys played really well for 90% of that game. I think, yeah, you already addressed it. I was going to ask, if you didn't, whether you thought about pulling back when you were both at breaking and making them recap the point so that they had to defend it at breaking for what, 35 minutes. But you kind of already addressed that.
Yeah, that was my fault.
Any other
All right.
questions, Pratly?
No.
All right. Well, thank you, Collector, for coming on and having this conversation. We'll definitely see you guys back in the next season. IVB's a great powerhouse. But now we'll be going on to the 12th VA leader interview. Here we are with the leader interview for 12th Virginia tonight. We got the two leaders from 12th VA. We got Natty Light.
Yee. Natty here, 12th VA.
We also got FuseWall Jackson.
FuseWall Jackson with the 12th VA. God, Natty, you sounded like a Pokemon introduction. Natty here.
Oh, shit. Dude. Well, I guess you're in the title of Jackson tonight. Yee.
So, with that being said, we're going to go in that first round. Wow, that's really all I can say from your guys' perspective. It didn't look like you were going to win, but wow, you guys won in the end. You, as Pratly has said numerous times, you won the most important charge of the first round, and you won. It was phenomenal. So what was your guys' strategy going into the round, and how did you guys react to the ever-changing battlefield?
Fuse, you want to go?
I'll go.
No. Yeah, you go ahead.
So the initial strategy kind of was none of it really went to plan.
No, absolutely not.
Never really on defense. We had a strong foothold on that snake fence. We just wanted to get as many people on that snake fence. We wanted to have corn. Brigade on the far left, kind of left of the stone wall, right? So relative would be just west. So down the stone wall, away from that little corner. Now these positions were picked because it's probably the most ideal for defending a full frontal charge, like on the stone wall. We don't want people on the stone wall. We would just want enough of a force to muster and to like kind of bait them in on like, keep bayoneting the wall, but enough to keep them on that wall. And the defense didn't go too well.
No, absolutely not.
It was just always we were either losing charges and this and that, and we're like, okay. We saw the first early cap, and then we immediately started changing the tempo of our win condition. So actually, it in a way, in a very bizarre way, it kind of benefits at least me personally to be in the mindset of of attacking. We lost a couple charges and this and that. We knew that the only condition that we can break them at was breaking. At least in my mind at that point, we had charged over and over again, and they had kept regrouping. None of the charges were working, so it's like, okay, well, we won one charge, and then we kept point.
Yep.
So that was great. So that means there was some effectiveness to the charges we're doing in a very simplistic way. Just charge down the road, use the cover, and then just shoot up the fence. We had probably a good ample opportunity to give up Artie. At that point, they had already gotten their shots off, at least the ones that mattered. And we weren't too keen on keeping up the Artie fire on that stone wall when they pushed up. Now, finally, to the actual moment, breaking. It's actually quite bizarre how you play around that. I don't want to give away too much of what I think during those situations, but in this specific case, I kind of wanted to test the waters of how low they're willing to go on breaking. Usually that's the mindset of what goes on. Either they pull off at full breaking and then fight from there. Obviously, it's going to be a harder fight, but, they broke us before. They can do it again. At that point, we would have rethought our strategy, our defense, and, postured up differently. So that was the benefit there of if they did pull off earlier. But at the same time, we were seeing how low they wanted to go in breaking at that final moment, and it just seemed to me that either one, it was a late call, and we just took advantage of the out-of-line tickets. And usually calls like that around when it gets really, really close like that, we know IVB to be constantly aggressive, at least in my mind, constantly charging was indeed proved by them all throughout. And I don't know. I just feel like we definitely used that to some will and advantage during the breaking status. They'd had just enough to really get kind of a foothold on point, but not enough to sustain it for long. So it was either take the last stand or try to get them off. We'll see. But that was kind of the strategy with the defense there.
Yeah, and I just want to add to that a little bit. We put up a defense to like absolutely try to counter the first corner shoot. To be honest with you guys, like that did exactly not go to plan. Like within the first 5 minutes of the game, everyone was roaming the actual Union fence and like their defensive formation. So we don't know what happened. In all honesty, it was a good ass fucking IVB attack. Mad props to them on that. But it became to a point where it's like, we're playing the reaction at that point. And to be honest with you, like I do think that the early caps are important one way or another, just based on the rule set. But it actually can give the defenders
such a hindrance.
Yes, they could actually give the defenders a retake position to keep them back in the game, especially when you're dominating the field. If in all honesty, if they didn't shoot for the for the early caps a couple times, like we would have probably been absolutely out of the game, in one way or another. And so, I know Fuse, you probably use that to your advantage. Like we kind of worked around that in one way or another, but it was a very, very good CSA offensive, especially like when that line broke and I saw it break. And they were able to charge up the field and just harass Artie. Like that's when an attack's going really well. To be honest with you guys, like that was a really hard fought map. It was really, I gotta give mad props to the IVB to even getting us to like really aggressively play out of spawn. If they didn't play the recap a couple times, or if they actually didn't cap, they would absolutely won that. So I think, in all honesty, like it's kind of like a game of cat and mouse, and we just happened to come up on top as playing as the mice. So that was a really good game both times. And after we won the first map, it was kind of like setting the pace on the second map. Of like, okay, now we won the first map. It's 1-0.
Yeah,
it was a very good fucking. Like I said, IVB fought their hearts out on that. Like, I gotta give them mad respect on that. I think they made a couple mistakes, with playing around the point. I mean, this event like incentivizes playing around the point, so like I don't blame them one way or another. They absolutely did that. But I just think we were able to keep it close, and we just happened to capitalize in the most opportune situations. And so it's like, I'm not trying to shit on them by all means. That was a beautiful fucking game by them. Like, they did everything right. It's just, that's maybe the one critique that I have to say, but like, I have to give them like so much respect. Like, they're a really fucking good regiment, and like,
oh yeah,
a brigade, sorry. They're a brigade, and it was just like down to the wire, which is fucking always good play. In all honesty, I'd rather fucking take a loss in a good ass fucking game than take a dub in a boring ass game. And so I have nothing but respectful things to say to them. Like, they are the champions. They know how to do fucking shit right. And so I'll step down and just not talk about anything after that. So good game.
Yeah, thank you for that. Pratly, any questions for the first round?
No, I think Ratty and Shoes kind of got through all of it, and
Ratty and Shoes,
and talked about everything pretty well. My only thing would be, was the plan from you guys when they capped at taking losses? Did you have an idea right away of like, we could push them all the way to last stand here, or was the idea just to recap it and keep the clock going?
It had come in my mind immediately because it was so low taken. I don't know when they took it. I feel like
it was under half. Yeah, it was definitely under half.
So under that half of taking losses, yeah, it definitely came up. It didn't come in the Steam chat, but I was kind of maneuvering my mindset around. Okay, well, if we take point and we wipe them all, it's not as good as wiping some of them and having come back to the same place. if we were to get someone to or if we are going for a push to last stand, we want to go. The plan was to kind of keep some of them. It wasn't really a full action because our charges mostly failed, but it did its job, which was keep some of them on that fence and keep some of them kind of around point. Was I scared that they would be able to just totally hold us off? Yeah, absolutely. Probably. We had one initial success on one charge, and I feel like during that charge, sometime during engaged, I think we only won one, that we could replicate that situation and kind of pull it back at around the breaking stage, right? I like playing around the breaking stage a lot because halfway at breaking, if we cap and we go back up to halfway breaking, it's like, all right, they got enough time to maneuver. If it's full breaking, then they have all the time in the world. But if it's like just close, like a quarter breaking, maneuvering that isn't the easiest thing in the world to do, but it all really is dependent on the proximity of the point. A sprint from Union spawn gets on that point in less than 30 seconds. Less than 30 seconds. So, as each, and from their main, it takes about a minute. Hopping over fences takes about, 5 seconds, something like that. So that's 10 seconds already just hopping over 2 fences. And then the rest of the run, it's about a minute. So at that point, we like playing the numbers game, which is kind of new. A little bit just getting, and that point extends all the way. The strongest point on that road, for that point, the strongest area you can have like a minimum amount of guys, but still kind of be in favor, is that road right there by the brown house. So I don't know. Could they have pushed up further from that and pushed us like totally off point and like had a defense around the brown house? Maybe. But honestly, we'll take this as a really hard fought win, and that's about it, really. There was some ideas went to fruition, some of them didn't, but eventually it just kind of fell for us, and obviously decisions were made.
And then my other big question would be, and this is kind of something that I find interesting for a lot of the defenders especially, is going into that, were you guys kind of trying to play it in such a way of like, well, we know there's the tiebreaker rules, so let's just keep the clock ticking for as long as possible, and if we don't win, then we can win fast as attackers and it'll be fine? Or was it from the off like, hey, we want to try and win as defenders?
Fuse, can I answer this real quick?
For me, it was both, but yeah, go ahead, Natty. It's always both.
We always shot for 2-0. That's like always like the way that we played that match, and just the fact that we won the first match like definitely set the tempo in the second. So it's like, in these kind of matches, it's like I prefer not to play for time. Some people might disagree in one way or another. Like, we understand the rules, but like there is a level where it's like, okay, you just have to absolutely win, and that's what we are going for tonight. It's just like, just go 2-0. Don't worry about anything in between, and it just worked out for us. So, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, pretty much a little bit. To answer your question, it was sorry. What was your question again, Pratly? Sorry.
Just like how much you were playing the game around the tiebreaker, trying to defend for a long time.
That's right. Yeah, it's always definitely both. The answer is definitely both, right? If you can win just off of win and defend it hard, that's ideal. If you want to win it off time and play around time, that's cool too.
And I think that's what we've really seen in both your matches in the playoffs. You guys profit of is the attackers in the first game being too concerned about winning quickly and then making some small mistakes at the end that you guys have capitalized on really well.
Yeah, it always comes, even in like pubs. So obviously I'm very familiar, but it always comes up that way. There's always a sudden, not panic, but a certain camaraderie that occurs among people when time is of the essence. And I think that's with everything. If you're late to work, barely late, you're going to go fast on the highway. I'm not going to insinuate that, applying actual psychological things. But no, if you want to win and you want to win fast, you're going to have to do it fast. And mistakes get made when fast things happen. All we can really do is just sit back and reorganize and go for an all-out assault. But yeah, to answer that question fully, it's a little bit of both, right? It's always play to win the defense. And then however well the defense occurs, play around how bad it is or how good it is. And that's about really the objective there,
Yeah, and if you said to that, like if we would have lost the first match, like our strategy would have absolutely changed. Like that's just there's no questions about it. We
Oh
would have
yeah,
been
oh yeah,
way more aggressive.
100%.
Yeah, but just the fact that we pulled out the first win, it was like, okay, we're going for the second win at that point, and like that's when we kind of need to adjust our strategy to pull off like
We
the two
we
wins.
never had a plan for early cap in our attack. I mean, it was plan
Never,
B,
no.
but our entire attack plan kind of surrounded on the fact that look, if we're just gonna get a win, this is how you're gonna do it. And I think those charges on the fence just really, I don't know how, really, to be honest, we kept getting wiped, but the tickets kept going down. And I was like,
I
okay.
think a lot of it actually was the groups that did go to the wall rather than up the hill on the fence were often getting a lot of shots into them.
Most definitely, and it sucks that they didn't have an opportunity for themselves to counterattack because we had no intention of going for point at that area. We took down half of Morale State within the first, say 4 or 5 minutes in the game, and that was enough for me, honestly.
All right, that's all my questions.
Cool, thank you for that. So, I mean,
Thank you,
not that
Pratly.
there's much to the strategy in the second round, seeing as you guys just had to not cap the point and not go down the final push within 8 minutes. What was your guys' strategy going into the second round, attacking, and how did you react to the ever-changing battlefield?
Sipping mimosas
We just
on
played
the beach.
I think, in all honesty, like once we knew we won the first round, it's like, yo, confirm the second win and like just driving the last stand. I think that was the absolute plan at one point or another. Fuse did a wonderful job and like setting the tempo and a lot of different things, but it was like definitely a big adjustment because at that point we kind of knew, when they started playing aggressive off the barn, like it was. I understand they were like playing the actual event rules, but we were just like at that point we were just like like we're gonna be playing for the 2-0 rules, and that's when we were able to capitalize on that one way or another. It was a very aggressive, like almost charge us from spawn kind of thing, and our guys we shifted them over to the left, not get hit by Artie, get full kits in, and we were ready to fight, and that's when we had the pretty much like a half a morale state advantage at that point, right, Fuse? Am I correct about that?
Something like that. Yeah, it was just about a half after
It
the
was
first attack.
yeah, and then at that point we just could control the tempo at that point. It's like we just had a huge advantage right off the rip, and we just capitalized on it, from charges and things. It was really close in the taking a loss situation. I acknowledge that. But it was like at that point 26 minutes to like drive them to last stand. We started slowing down the tempo a little bit. Fuse, you did a great job with that as well. To absolutely try to capitalize on things. It's like we don't have to aggressively play at one point or another. We're gonna shoot things just to absolutely try to get the last stand secured. And we were never trying to aggressively take the point. It was like, at that point we were trying to last stand everyone, just win the game.
And you know what? There was like a couple moments when we did charges. I was like, how did IVB do this? I mean, I kind of know what they all went to like one singular point, did 2 and 2, and they attacked the snake fence and the wall because they went for early cap.
They also, I would say, it stopped them from doing any long range combat. They all stacked buck and ball, and that.
Oh, they did.
In close range, it was really effective, but at long range, they didn't. They couldn't shoot you guys.
Oh, was their team? How much? Was everybody on buck and ball then? I didn't.
I think
tab.
Collector was saying they mostly went buck and ball. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that probably had an attribute to their success on their charges. We only had 2 companies on buck and ball because we wanted to use the rifle companies as kind of like an Ender's Game. If you guys ever watched that movie where they surround the ball, the guy with the, whatever the fuck, just kind of surround him and take a couple shots for the buck and ball to hit that fence. And honestly, I think that shit did the most damage. It was always enlightening to see how like we all got wiped, but we were so far ahead, regardless of the first charge. Like we always maintained the pace. So
yeah.
It was just very strange. I was like, there was a moment, dude. I was like, how the fuck? Like, do we just all go buck and ball to win these charges or what? Like, we're always getting wiped, but we're still ahead. And I'm like, the fuck, man?
Yeah, but also to Fuse to talk about original strategy, and I'll bring that up real quick. Our original strategy was actually to bait out shots from the wood line. One way or another. We sent the
It kind of
50,
worked. It really worked.
It kind of worked because at that point we wanted to play around the buck and ball, so we actually had MSG, who was playing as a rifle company, try to and really they did a wonderful job, both 50A and MSG, of trying to divert the fire so like the buck and ball can be like hitting the point secured. And at that point, when you have 3-to-1 shot the odds, like it's just like we protected the buck and ball just to absolutely let them do their work. And that's why the morale state was devastating, because we really, really absolutely tried to keep the buck and ball to be like the hammer. And Fuse had a beautiful analogy about that, but we were trying to really drive that hammer, and so it's like protect the hammer, let the hammer do the work. It's like
surround it in a Christmas present. Let them beat up the box, and then once the shit comes out of the box, there you go. But yeah, I mean, I have nothing really more to say. It was definitely an interesting attack. That first charge really made me shit myself. But I think in terms of the drawing fire, I don't know if you guys could see it, but I'm not I think we actually drew out one volley, and I think that's when we went. The whole company had volleyed on the fence line, and that was our that was our signal type deal. If enough shots went to the drawing company, I was drawing fire, and so that concept actually got proven there, and it worked somehow.
What? Can you say that again? Sorry, I stepped away for 1 second.
Oh no, it was just when 5th VA was drawing fire, I think one of the companies on the snake fence volleyed at the barn or something, and that was our signal.
Yeah,
basically to go. We're like, okay, they all volleyed. We got a 20-second window, gentlemen.
Yeah, me and Fuse, no joke, we were looking into the actual strat itself, and one we were like, damn, IVB, would you pick IV or roulette lane for this map? But I guess it's a hard map and trying to get everyone composed. When the chord gets crazy. Chord did a great job tonight, but we were literally trying to play around, listening to the volley, and 58 did a fucking phenomenal job, trying to bait those shots, because as soon as we heard that, we had 25 seconds to actually run up there and do that. Whenever we hear a volley, 25 seconds, right? That's 9 to 10 guys that don't have their loads in. That's a 9 to 10 guy advantage to hit them with buck and ball.
Especially because we were outnumbered.
Yeah, at one point 13 to 15. It don't matter. I'm not saying balancing was terrible.
It was okay. We love you, Eagle. Okay. We love you.
We love you, Eagle. Yeah, if 50-man company, it would have been a different game. But anyways, it was a good hard fought map. It's that's why we're here. That's why we're competitors. That's why we play this game. But yeah, no, me and Fuse are a little bit autistic about this game, Fuse, and we not. But
the tism is strong, gentlemen. You cannot play this game without at least a little bit of the tiz.
Especially being a regiment leader, all right. it's just there. But yeah, no, it was. I have a lot of respect for every regiment leader in this, but me and Fuse are sitting there hey, this we're hoping you guys got footage of the little bit. We kind of played it around trolling too, because we knew, once 50 hit that bush line, it's inevitable that people would start firing because the tensions are so high. You could cut it with a knife, that kind of situation. Especially when you got a bugler teabagging and stuff, that's really what we try to put out there. But it was one of those situations that we just really, really tried to make it so to draw out fire, and then we're capitalizing on that, which we're crazy for doing that, but that's something that we think it's our bread and butter. And I remember Fuse, me and you, we spent 2 to 3 hours just talking about that, and it panned out. So
oh yeah,
I'm glad to hear that. Pratly, you got any questions?
Not for second round, no.
Cool.
I have several questions about that second round. I ain't gonna ask for it though.
You'll just see it. But with that all being said, thank you all for watching tonight's broadcast of the BLN semifinals. Congrats to 12th VA for advancing the championship. They'll be playing the winner of JD versus Sussy Brigade, which we'll see next week. Exciting things. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Go in the description to the Patreon, where you can get videos before everyone else and behind-the-scenes footage. And with that being said, have a wonderful rest of your
Give
night.
us money,
Yeah.
money.
Money.
Patreon, please, please.
Oh, tough EA. Oh, we need server boosters. I'm just kidding.